Polsia. Polsia. Pulsia, I think that's the way you say it. Are you familiar with this new platform? So apparently there's this new, I say apparently, no, there is this new platform that is supposed to be able to either start a company for you and get you making money like in hours, or it can take your company and help you grow the company in hours. That's what they say. That's their claim. And uh, it seems like what I've seen on the internet is that they raised like $30 million from VCs in order to do this. It is one of the clunkiest, hardest to use, worst AI agents that I have worked with so far. I am not a techie at all. I am not a developer. In fact, that was the reason why I wanted to use AI is because I'm not a developer, I'm not techie, but you see all these commercials about, oh, so and so built this app in at lunch, or whatever, and it's like they make it seem so simple. Well, Polsia made it seem more simple than anything else I've ever seen. Now, I did not believe this. However, I was recommended this app, and so I said, why not try it? I lost a day. Let's just say that. I put a whole day into trying to see if this app can help me, and it didn't. It didn't. And when I say it didn't, let me tell you exactly what happened so that you'll know whether to use Pulsia for what you're trying to do or not. This video is not to say Pulsia is good or bad. This video is to say Pulsia did not work for me. Maybe Pulsia will work for you if you can figure it out. So I'm recording here. And what I'm going to do, I'm recording here. And what I'm going to do is I'll be clicking back and forth on another tab so I can read what is said and what I've been through. So I've set up my first company. And I say my first because I ended up canceling that subscription and starting over because I thought I messed up. So I started the first company in the beginning of the day yesterday. And I just said, start from scratch. Here's my company idea, as if I didn't already have landing pages and all of that. I said, here's my company idea, go. So it gave me a whole strategy. It built me a landing page. That is really good at. It built a landing page. The copy was really good. It took, I wrote like my mission, my target market, like I had a whole synopsis of what a summary of what the company is, what the idea is, what I am doing, what I'm building. And just so you know, I am building the world's largest barber network that gives barbers mental health and money systems and support. And so I told it this, and it starts to try and build this out. It built a great landing page, but then when you click on the link, it doesn't take you anywhere. So I said, okay, let's fix that. And mind you, let me stop. So I needed to, so when you do that, you upload your idea, it kind of just already sends out to Twitter that it is creating this. It says, oh, I just helped a barber create a community. And did it though? Did it? So it sends out that tweet. So to the people getting the tweet, it seems like just like that, it just did the work, but nothing had been done at this point. It's just an idea. So then it tells me I need to upgrade. And so I do. I upgrade and and so I get when I say upgrade, it's saying start your free trial. So the free trial is 3 days, but you're going to get charge $49 a month after that. What you get for those 3 days is what they call credits, 5 credits, but then they give you a bonus 10 credits. Let me tell you why. Because anything that you're going to do is going to take 1, 2, or 3 credits, and you'll be done with those 5 credits in like in minutes. And so you really wouldn't get anything done. So they give you those 10 credits to help you get some things done. So I went ahead and started my trial. I started the trial and trying to make sure I talk into there's an echo in this room, so I'm trying to make sure I talk into this mic. But I start my free trial and and it says, okay, here's the idea. I'm going to do some emailing outreach, and it sends out 3 emails. I don't know why 3. It sends out 3 emails, and there's like it chooses 3 people that it thinks it should send emails to. And at the bottom of that email, it says, like sincerely Kiné Corder or whatever. My name, Kiné Corder. And then, oh, I haven't told you who I am. So if you're new here, I am Kiné Corder, the leading national certified counselor specializing in financial hypnotherapy for stress. And right now, I am building the largest global community for barbers that'll give them mental health and money support and systems. So I went to Polsia for help building this agent. It's supposed to be your AI employee. So I go there and I am like, all right, so we got the landing page done, which is after the trial. I got the landing page done after the trial. We he went it did does this outreach 3 emails. I say he, I call all the AIs he. So he goes out and does this these 3 emails, but at the bottom of that email says um sincerely Kane or whatever it says. And then it says you this company uses Pulsia to send emails or something like that. I'm like, why would I want that at the bottom of my email? So that's at the bottom of the email. Of course, I don't like that. Work on that later. And then it tells me that I need to set up Stripe, which it does pretty seamlessly. It integrates to Stripe pretty easily. I already have Stripe though. So all I have to do is go click on my Stripe and then have it integrate, my Stripe that I already have. Now I don't know what it's like if you have to start Stripe from scratch. So I connect my Stripe, but when you go back to the website, if you will go to book, it's nothing to do. So I'm like, hey, I can't. I mean, if you click on book, it goes to an error page. It's like, okay, let's fix that. So then it creates a form. And I'm like, okay, but where does that form go? Who knows? Just goes anywhere into the ether. And so, but also it wants to charge my the person. And but once it charges them, it's saying, oh, it's gonna send them an email saying you've been charged. You can now book. Okay, so where do they book? And it's like, oh, you're right. Maybe we should set up Calendly. Maybe? Okay, but I don't want to set up Calendly because I already pay for Google Suite. So let's use the Google Calendar. Okay, but we'll need the API. We'll need to connect the API. I think Calendly would be easier. And I was like, well, maybe, but maybe not, because doesn't Calendly just connect to my Google Calendar anyway? So why would we use a third thing? And I'm not that techie. Like, don't add complexity to my business. Blah, 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 blah. So it's doing this, and we get to a point where we just use all the 15 credits. I don't know this because I'm thinking we're getting the business set up. So at this point, we've sent out emails. I'm gonna see if I can tell you what all we did. Hold on. We No, that's not the one. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can go to that. Okay. So here's what we did. We we created the landing page, and then we edited the landing page so that there was a call to action, and that call to action actually went somewhere. But that then created a second page with a form, and then that form was supposed to collect payment and then take them to. So that's what we set up. We also sent out those 3 emails that went to 3 random people, and the email that they sent to was an email that was created by Polsia. So I don't really have access to that because I don't even know where you get this email, where this email goes. So it also said it did market research and it looked at who the competitors were. It took the information I did and kind of put it into an executive summary, the information I gave it, but I already gave it an executive summary, so I really didn't need to use a task for that, which it does. It charges you credits for that. Um, and then it did market research report, which I didn't even use because I don't need that right now. I already did that weeks ago. So I didn't ask it for that. It just automatically did that. And then it told me I needed to run meta ads. Meta ads were going to be $10 a day. 8 of those go to the Meta ads, 2 of those go to Polsia for being a platform. It also says you can switch to God mode. God mode charges you a certain amount. And I would say when I wanted to switch to God mode for 48 hours, it was like $379 to switch to God mode. And that's like, it just takes over and it runs your business for you and gets you these clients. Now, I believe, this is my own belief, based on what I saw, like when we set things up, the clients that they get you won't be real. So you might make a couple dollars, but then people might either end up asking for refunds or I just didn't see how it was going to work because it wasn't giving the person anything. It didn't see it all the way through. And my name is on this. And so that's important to me because I really do run a company and I don't want to be known as this person that just comes in and takes people's money. So, so that wasn't working, and I just saw that it wasn't gonna be able to get done. I tried to put some things together. I was like, "Okay, well, maybe you should give me a strategy where I do YouTube videos and, see what works." And it was like, okay, yeah, that's a great idea. And so then they started putting that together. But anyway, I ended up running out of credits. And it was like, yeah, you're gonna need to buy some more credits if you want to keep going. And I'm like, wait, we didn't even accomplish anything. Like you made a bunch of mistakes and a bunch of assumptions, and that cost me money. And now you're saying I need to spend more money? Not doing that, not doing that. So I got to a point where I was just like, you know what, I can't go any further here. I must have made some sort of mistake, must be doing this wrong. So I shut that down. I canceled that membership or whatever subscription. Hopefully it doesn't charge my card because I did cancel it. And I set it up again. This time instead of saying like start from scratch, let me give you my business idea and you build my business, I have a business, help me grow it. So I chose that this time. And then I gave it still the market research, all the things that I had already done. I didn't know it was going to do market research, so I didn't give it that the first time. But this time I did. I was like, here, I've already done a market research. I already have an executive summary. I already have all these things. I do not need you to build them and charge me credits for them. So here's all these things. Here, I do have a website. Look at this website, and you can create a landing page if that's going to help us move forward. Um, but if we don't need the landing page, then don't do it. Part of the reason why you are here, you are my AI employee, but I tell you what to do. But I don't want to be a solopreneur. This is in real life. I'm telling this to the agent, but this is true in real life. I don't want to be a solopreneur. I love working with the team. I'm building my leadership skills. I'm getting better at that. But being a solopreneur is not on my list of things to do. I would rather build a business with a company, a small team. I don't need a big team. I want a small team, 5 to 10 people working towards this one goal of building the largest global barber network that offers mental health and money systems and support. So to reduce stress. So that is the goal. I tell it that I start from, again, not from scratch this time. I said I have my own business. And then it says, okay, great. I recommend you do meta ads, you do DM Instagrams, and you do emails to, and it suggested Twitter, but I was like, barbers are not on Twitter. Why would I use Twitter? And it's like, oh yeah, good point. Let's use Instagram. So okay, we went to Instagram, and then I was like, well, I need to be on podcast because that's what has been working in my business. So it said, okay, yeah, I agree with you on that. If that's been working, let's do it. You can send emails to podcasts and try and get on the podcast. I can write the email script, I can write the DM, and I can create the meta ads. Now, I have done meta ads in the past. When I say the past, I'm talking years ago, like Amy Porterfield days, years ago. So I've tried them. I did not perfect them. I don't know a lot about them. So I was like, you know what? Do what you do. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That was the worst decision I could have made. It created a meta ad. First of all, I had to put my credit card in. So I had to give it my credit card, or maybe it just charged the card that was on file. I can't remember. but I said, yes, activate the meta ads. So I clicked the button that activate the meta ads, which is $10. It told me $8 to Pulsia. I mean, $2 to Pulsia, $8 to Meta. I said, fine, go ahead, start it. So it goes and it creates something called Self Sync OS. That is the company that it says I am. I am not Self Sync OS operating system. So Self Sync is the name of my program. It is the name of my mental health and money program. But the ad that it created, it was not a barber. It was this young white girl who was like dressed like slightly corporate, but like a casual corporate. She's at a desk and like she's like, I hired self sync or I just got self sync to create an operating system for my business. And it said something like six different things or so. I'm like, six? That's four, lady. So that was first little red flag. And then after it says six different blah, 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 and it's like, and self sync runs my whole business. It does six things. That's what it said. It does six things um, at once, and I can focus on blah 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 blah. I'm like, that is not what self sync is. First of all, second of all, what are you even talking about? You're not a barber. Then, and this is a community. And what about the mental health? You didn't even bring that up, and the money even bigger because there are plenty of mental health things coming up, but there are none that mix the mental health and the money, and that is a problem that you didn't mention that. So I go and I'm like, yo, we need to stop this. Like, whatever, it was already about to run meta ads. And I said, yo, you need to stop the meta ads. And then when I go to stop it, I realized it hadn't even created the new website. Because remember, I closed the old one and I started the other one. It had three tasks on there. I forgot one of the tasks. I named three. It was the fourth task was to create the website, which was the first thing it said, but it had forgotten. It told me it needed to do that. So it had only given me three. So I told it to do those three, which that meant the website hadn't been built. And I'm like, yo, wait, where are you sending these meta ads? First of all, this is the wrong ad. Second of all, where are you sending them? And it's like, oh, you're right. We didn't make the landing page. Let's do that now. What the what? No, let's not do that. Let's let's stop the meta ads. Let's do that. And let's get my money back for that meta ad because this is not it. This is not it. You are running rogue. You have no idea what you're doing. And and you think it's fun. And it's not. And I think that a lot of people on the internet just want to start businesses because first of all it's side hustles for them. They probably have jobs and they're just like, I just want to run an internet business to say I have an internet business. Maybe their name is not that important to them. And so that is the customer Pulsia is looking for, is for the person who's not really that serious about running a business, who's like, if it works then it's cool. I'm willing to spend $50 to see if it works. um they're probably willing to spend more, buy more credits, and they might also need to be um, willing to lie. They have to be because it doesn't really tell the truth, and it doesn't really know that it's not telling the truth. It's just doing what it needs to do in order to accomplish the goal. But I told it the goal was to get a client before the 3-day trial is up. So because I did that, it did whatever it needed to do to get the client, which might mean not be honest. That's not what I meant. I should have said, get a barber into the community or get a barber signed up for the free vision workshop, or get a barber to book a private session with me. Maybe I should have said that barber, and it was just like a client, period, dot. As long as it's a client, I'll just sell them the self sync operating system. And then this operating system that does not exist. And I'm like, no, because this is my name and my name is important to me. And I still have a business that I am running. And outside of building this global barber network, I still run a retreat business and I can't lose my reputation off of this. So, yeah. Polsia is not what it says it is. It's something, and I'm sure somebody can benefit from it, but not if you're a serious business owner. I think it is a fun idea, and I think that the CEO or founder probably means well. Like he probably really wants to build something that can actually do this. And I think if it could do this, it would be the most powerful thing that has ever been built since, I don't know, they say sliced bread or whatever, the bread slicer. It is the idea is so incredible that if somebody could pull it off, it would be the next unicorn. It would be bigger than Google. It would be bigger than Meta. It would be bigger than SpaceX. It would be everything, because the thing that stops people from starting a business is all of this stuff that Pulsia is supposed to do. And the thing that holds people back from growing their business is all of this stuff that Polsia is supposed to do. Many of us can, I run 17 hats and I run Kajabi and Every Expert, and I've been running those for years, almost 10 years on Kajabi and 17 hats, and Every Expert is new. So just been running that a couple of months. But one of the hardest parts is running traffic. Kajabi doesn't run traffic. Eventually Every Expert will. That's part of why Kajabi started this second part of their business. 17 Hats doesn't run traffic. So the hardest part of running my business is running traffic to my business. You can spend a lot of money. I have friends that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on meta ads, and some that spend millions on meta ads. But it's like you have to constantly do that, and then your return on investment is very small. So you might spend 500,000, maybe a million in ads, but because the ads are so expensive, you really only make $100,000, 200, maybe 300, right? That comes to you. Now there are people who make more money than that. I'm not saying that that's not there. There are, but the vast majority of people are making the same amount of money I'm making doing. I do word of mouth and like organic reach, and they're making the same amount of money I do. So why would I spend $1 million to make 100,000? That makes no sense. Where I can just use a little bit of energy, a little bit of my own reputation, to get that same 100,000, 200,000. So I don't see, if Polsia can do what it says it can do, then it will be quite the amazing tool. But so far, it hasn't done that. It hasn't done it for me. And I would love to be your case study, your test case. If you can do it, do it. But so far, you haven't. And you definitely didn't do it within 15 credits. So that part is like, okay, you want me to pour a bunch of money into you so you can prove your idea, but that's not what you promised. That's not what you promised. So give me what you promised, and I will be your customer for life. I've been a customer of Kajabi for 10 years. I've been a customer of 17 Hats for 10 years. Most of the things I use, the Google Suite, I've been a customer for 10 years. When I started my business, more than 10 years ago, but these tools I turned on 10 years ago, and I've had them ever since. And because they work for me, Kajabi works for me. 17 Hats works for me. Google Suite works for me. And I'm not trying to give Google 17 Hats or Kajabi any free advertisement. I'm just saying the same thing I'm saying about Pulsia. They work for me. Pulsia so far has not worked for me. But if it could work for me and drive traffic, I would be the most loyal customer they have. And I would make videos about them to tell how awesome and amazing they are, because I see you, Polsia. I see what you're trying to do. I do. You're just not pulling it off. And it's costing your customer a lot of money to try and prove what you say you can do. But if you can do that for the amount of money that you say you can do it for, if I have to invest a lot in you, you already got 30 million from the VC people. If they want to get their money back, then you need to start giving something. You need to make something happen so they can make their money back, because they're not going to make their money back this way. Because the $50 that or the $10 that I spent on money on meta ads, I've already asked for that back. So that means you have now lost money because Stripe still got their money. And now you have to give me $10 back, even though you have to pay a couple of dollars to Stripe. So now you're in the hole. But if you want me to spend the $10, then maybe you need to make better ads that are aligned with my business, not make some shit up that's not aligned with my business, because it's not going to get you anywhere. Anyway, this video is way too long. Hopefully you got something out of it. I don't think I did because I already knew all of this. But maybe I'm helping some other business owner not waste a day of their time because that's how I feel. I wasted a day of my time. I'm just now wasting 25 more minutes of my time talking about this. But I think people need to know. And I think Polsia needs to know. Who else is going to tell them but somebody bold and fussy like me? I don't know. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you sooner. Love you muchly.